We are back. We are back with our second session. It is October the 19th. We got one more week of spooky season. And where we last left off talking about, let's see here, about the wife
Herman Munster.
of Herman Munster, a good wife, interesting person, uh, interesting individual. So where we last left off, 2 Corinthians chapter 4. Therefore, since we have this ministry because we have shown mercy, we do not give up. So don't give up with serving God. Get out there and do something for the Lord. Instead, we have recommended, let's see, renounced shameful secret things and not walking in deceit. Now that's exactly which we mentioned this in the last at the end of the last session, but that is exactly what vampires do. Your vampire folklore, and they are simply mythical creatures that never existed. That subsists on the life force of the living, most famously drinking blood and not wanting to be exposed to sunlight and all that good stuff. Let's see. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7 and 8. Now we have this treasure in clay in clay jars, so that the extraordinary power may be from God and not from us. So all of this stuff comes from the Messiah. We are
There's clay jars.
ours. No, his.
Now we have this treasure in clay jars.
That'd be his treasures, right?
Hmm?
That'd be.
Where was them? What was them clay jars before they got the treasure?
Ooh, I don't know.
There wasn't any. We're the clay jars.
Oh, okay. Okay. There you go.
And this treasure he's talking about is Jesus Christ.
There you go.
He's in these old clay jars.
Yeah.
What do we turn to when we die?
Clay.
Dust.
Dirt, which is clay, a form of clay. Anyway, we are persuaded in every way, but not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. So, a couple of things to be pondering is the two keys to overcoming evil spirits is prayer and praise. Well, what about Grandpa? Well, Grandpa was kind of like the master manipulator, and let's see, we mentioned this before.
It kind of reminds me of Festus on the Addams Family.
Yeah. So a little bit more on vampires. They consume human blood to survive. The undead nature. So they're always portrayed as undead creatures again because they can't go sunlight.
They live forever.
Yeah, and often rising from the graves or coffins at night. And they like to shapeshift into bats or wolves or to wherever they may please. And sunlight is a common weakness, such as garlic and I forget the others. But anyway,
in modern use of vampires, I don't know if you've I forgot the name of that movie. Well, there's two of them. Vampires and werewolves they're enemies.
Right? Yeah, I've heard that.
So in a sense, you're saying it's like a vampire cannot turn into a wolf. He might turn into a bat, but he can't turn into a
Yeah,
wolf.
I've never heard that either. That's
Because
interesting.
the
Yeah.
modern depiction is that vampires and wolves are against each other.
Yeah. And what's their Herman and Lily's son?
Eddie,
What is he?
he's a werewolf.
He's a werewolf.
Now, how's that happen?
I don't know. Anyway,
How can the undead and a vampire create a werewolf?
that's a good question. Trouble in the basement.
I wonder if anybody ever thought of that.
Yeah.
Of course, I mean, you got to have one of each in the family, so
Yeah. True.
you must got a blood transfusion or something.
So trouble in the basement. So
Mhm.
Grandpa was always in the basement concocting some kind of potion or something to always play a joke on poor old Herman. But Satan does the same thing, right?
Mm.
He plays tricks on each and every one of us, especially if you're one of God's kids. So, well, David, what does Satan do to us?
You got a pretty good list here. Self-consumed, insurrectionist, excommunicated, fallen angel, seeks to kill, steal, and destroy, father of lies and no truth in him, acts like a roaring lion, not a lion, walk about seeking who he may devour, and the spirit of Antichrist, and hides in the deepest of darknesses.
Kind of reminds me of Grandpa, don't he? Now,
Well, if it's Grandpa was a little on the dopey side.
yeah. So there's a distinction between this, right? If you get the story of Cain and Abel, again, you got your origin story of good versus evil, right? So it's interesting.
Well, if Adam and Eve hadn't eaten that fruit, they wouldn't have to worry about one being good and one being evil.
That's it. Now it's interesting in this story, which Eve said, "Hey, I just birthed a baby boy, right? So this must with at the second part of verse 1, I have had a male child with the Lord's help." So in her mind, remember, God said in chapter 3 that you're going to have birth, which is a prophecy, right? But Eve wouldn't have known this back then.
Yeah, what if I'd been a female?
Yeah. True. Now it's interesting. I don't have my chart here, but you know, in the Bible, you get a distinctive chart of names. You know, so and so begot so and so and so and so and so and so. It's interesting. The Cain and Abel, they're the only ones that are mentioned, but it's an interesting thing that Eve said, "Hey, I have had a baby boy, a male child. What if they had kids before, but they were all girls?" I don't know. I can't prove that, but that is an interesting thing. Just reading that right now, that just came to me.
Well, that's not a bad point. I mean, I've had a male child with the Lord's help. Well, if she had female childs before,
yeah,
well, she could say she had the Lord's help.
Right? I don't know. That's interesting.
Well, the line up before makes it sound like he was the first child, period.
Yeah.
Because she conceived and gave birth to Cain.
Right.
Of course.
Now it's interesting.
If it's a female, they're not going to say that.
Right. Now it's interesting. Later on in the New Testament, it tells you that Eve. That would be a trick. Eve is the mother of all living, right? Which means it doesn't matter if Cain and Abel were the first
male or female.
Yeah, but that is interesting. Hey, I have finally gotten a baby boy. This is it. Anyway, interesting. And then God Himself talks to Cain and Abel, but He says something very interesting to Cain. This is very interesting.
Now, is the birth of Abel in here?
Yeah, I mean it's just chapter 4.
Yeah, but in the course of time,
Yeah.
Cain
Then she also gave birth to his brother Abel. So Cain was the first, and Abel was the second.
Well, guess what?
Now,
She didn't say the same thing when he was born.
Truth. Now, it's another interesting fact that that the Lord is talking to Cain right here in verse 6 and 7. And he says something interesting. The Lord said to Cain, "Why are you furious? Why do you look so disappointed? Let's see. If you do what is right." Now that is one of the things that you can that just push yourself to. If you do what's right, what does it say? Won't you be accepted? If you do what is right, will I not welcome you in
You'll take it.
my family, or family into my heart, or whatever the case may be? Just do what's right. And that's my call to present day, right? So if you do what's right, you will be accepted. But if you do what's wrong, what does it say, David?
Its desire is for you.
No. If you do,
sin is crouching at the door, and it desires for you.
Exactly. Sin is
crouching. You must rule over sin.
Crouching out the door. Now here's the corn dog translation. So, if you do what is right, won't you be accepted? Now I have an idea on this. I think, might be wrong, but he says, "Hey, you see that right there in that corner? There's a lamb right there. You see it? Yeah, I see it. You want it? Nope. Just do it. I'll just do it my way. But
that's
but look at that other corner. There is your problem. That's your sin. Sin is, or the devil is at the door. He's just waiting for you to make up your decision. So there's.
I think he was trying to cheat God in his sacrifice.
Oh yeah,
sure. It's not just the lamb; it's what he offered.
Yeah,
he may not offer the best crops.
Right.
And God wants the best crops.
Exactly. But we are to put on the whole and full armor of God. Right? You know, you don't.
Helmet and shield and sword and breastplate. And,
you know, you probably don't want to go to war in blue jeans and well, this isn't my Halloween shirt or a long sleeve pullover shirt. No, you probably want to be all suited up for battle.
As long as you're man enough to wear it.
Yeah.
It might be too heavy.
True. So in Ephesians, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. So,
like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah. And be part of the resistance. Oh yeah. We're good. So be a part of the resistance. Now, what does that tell us, David?
Well, like you said, if you to fight, or not to let sin rule over you, so you're fighting sin.
Exactly. 1 Peter chapter 5 tells us, go ahead, David.
Whom resist steadfast in faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. But the God of all grace, who had called us into his eternal glory by Christ Jesus, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, established, strengthen, and settle you.
Now, James tells us, submit yourself to God, resist the devil, and he will flee from you. But as we have learned in the previous sessions,
like Cain was supposed to do.
Yeah. But as we have learned in the previous sessions, we don't do that. We want to do it our way and not his way. Instrument. First Thessalonians tells us, abstain from all appearance of evil. Can I have a confession time? I love scary movies.
So,
I mean,
is it evil to watch it?
Exactly. Now, what we'll find out next week, which will end it, not on this, but we'll end it on next week's point, that there's some things you might need to consider about your scary movies and stuff, which, Jason, Freddy, and all of them, they're stupid fun, right? But whenever you get into like The Exorcist and the demons and all them, you might need to be a little bit careful with that because of next week's lesson. But again, we're in next week's lesson. Let's get to now. So abstain from all evil.
Appearance of evil.
Well, yeah, appearance of evil.
Don't be the image of it.
Exactly. Again, but we learned in the last session, what comes into you comes out. And yeah. So take the battle to the enemy. Now let's spend some time on this in action. You got to get up out of bed and go to work every day, right? That's one thing. And then you get a reward called a paycheck, right? Now, the one who actually gave us life, God, wants you to take action and serve him. Can you give him one day? Can you give him 2 days? Can you give him 3 days?
This in action would be ministries.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, like your Sunday school teacher.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yep. True. In prayer, well, prayer should have been the first one. In prayer, when there's just something about praying to God that is, you're not just saying words to a telephone, right? You're praying, you're talking and speaking to the creator of the heavens and the earth. And he takes the time to listen to you. Think about that. We also need to have godly living. How are we doing with that? How do you speak? Do you build people up? Do you tear them down?
Well, these 3 right here fall under the godly living.
Yeah.
It's how you speak, how you walk, and like I said, how you treat others.
Yep. Do you speak highly of people?
You're getting back into the 2 commandments that Jesus gave.
Yeah.
And this is falling under love your neighbors as you love yourself.
Yeah. That's true.
Speak encouragement.
Exactly. Also,
treat others with kindness.
Also, which we're just talking about Christians now. What about the lost? Are you,
they don't pray.
No.
They don't have to do godly living. And if you don't watch it, they'll scam you.
True. Anyway, yeah. Mm-hmm. So, how do you treat others? I don't know. And where do you go? There's reasons why I don't go to a bar or Applebee's or Logan. Well, we don't have Logan's anymore. Logan's. don't sit at the bar.
We go to Olive Garden,
Olive Garden,
but we don't go to the bar.
Don't go to the bar.
Most people don't go to the bar to drink; they go there to eat.
True.
They got more tables. They got bar stools.
Yeah. Anyway, so when we combat the enemy by putting on the full armor of God, by being a part of the resistance, if you have a magnet, you get two of them, and at the opposite ends, they resist, right?
Mhm.
You can't hardly put them together.
We turn them around,
and then
they pop.
They pop in. Yep. Same thing applies to here. By taking the battle to the enemy. Well, here we go, David. You wanted to say something? That was your chance.
I said it a few minutes ago.
Oh,
how can
that's right.
How can a monster and a vampire come up with a werewolf?
They loved each other very much, I guess. I don't know.
Unless Grandpa did some kind of hocus pocus in the basement.
Very, very true.
Love potion number 9, maybe.
Yeah. So Eddie is, like he said, he is a werewolf. Well, what can we learn about werewolves, David?
Is a misspelling of werewolf. Where the mythical creature. So it's a vampire.
Yeah.
But it's also the name of several different brands and products, including a barefoot shoe company, a manufacturer of durable underground equipment, and a luxury leather and suede apparel maker. It's also the name of an item in the game Among Us and an enemy in Mobile Suit Gundam.
Well, we won't worry about the businesses and brands, but he's a mythical creature. In folklore and fantasy, the werewolf is a mythical being that can be transformed into a wolf or a wolf-like creature, often under the influence of a full moon. Which you got Eddie, he always howls at the moon, don't he? Which brings us to our next point. Don't fall asleep under the watch. Beware of the evil sower. You got anything on that? Live upright before the unholy seed. You see, whenever you got your two choices. You can make your corners, your good decision or your bad decision. You see that lamb right there? He's there for you, Abel, to take Cain, and right on the other side, sin is crouching at the door. You might be in trouble one of these days.
That unholy seed tempted Jesus 3 times in the wilderness.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
And that seed failed.
But God is the good seed, and He sows the good seed, kind of like the seed in the sower. Did I say that right? For the holy seed is to thrive. For the holy seed to thrive, we must soak up the sun, the SON instead of the SUN.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you do that, David? You soak yourself literally in the Bible. You memorize scripture. You pray. You have that relationship with Christ.
And that's your last point when you made of that book. You got your heft said 2 lines.
Yeah, you have to drink in the water of life, which we talked about in the last session. Psalms 1 talks about planting yourself in the
by the river
of calm, peaceful waters. It's fascinating whenever
where the roots can go deeper.
Exactly. Yeah. Drink of the water of life. Jesus had a parable on that too, as well. And partake of the meat of the word daily. daily read the Bible. Whenever you read the Bible, especially daily, you start seeing a change.
Even if it's one verse.
Even if it's one verse, yeah.
I get somebody sends Body Botchum sends me a verse every day. But he died a few weeks back. He wasn't but 56. I liked him. I've never listened to everything. I've been able to listen to some of his sermons. I ain't never done it yet.
Only the harvest separates the seed. Which brings us to David. You ready for this? Ugly Maryland. So
now, she was like a niece or nephew. I mean, a niece or a cousin.
Niece, yeah, I think it's niece.
Well, at least one side of the family looked good.
I know it. Now, Marilyn is the black sheep of the family, right? Now, Marilyn, kind of what you said in the very first session, would bring her boyfriends or friends or whoever over. Hey, meet my family. And then they come and
leave her at the door.
Yeah, and they get scared. You can see them kind of do their shaggy routine, and like their hair stands up, or if they have a toupee on, their toupee will flop, and it's funny. But David, what's the spiritual location to that? So Marilyn is the gospel or the disciple winner, right? Getting people, her friends or boyfriends or whoever it is, hey, come meet my family. They come in, and
which would be the opposite of the gospel.
Exactly. Well, kind of, sort of.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You hear the word of God, which Maryland presents.
Exactly.
And it's kind of like some of the sort of the seed. Some falls on fertile ground, some falls on sand and rock.
Right.
Well, if they stick around and face her relatives, then they believe the gospel.
Exactly. There you go. So Philippians 3, for I want to know Christ and experience the mighty power that raised him from the dead.
And that's not Herman.
Yeah. Now, David told me to do this, so next week.
Oh, I know. I come up with another one. You might want to do it instead.
Well, I don't know. Go ahead. What is it?
The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Ooh. Text that to me because I'll forget. Yeah. Yeah. Because I need another session for next week.
You ever seen?
No.
You never seen The Legend of Sleepy Hollow?
No.
Wow. You know who first produced that? Walt Disney.
Really?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Very scary.
Really?
Yes.
Really? Huh. But that's all fiction. What we're about to see is now this is, I don't have
just R-rated.
Well, I don't know. Back when I was a kid, it would always say, you see, I thought I was tough in something because it said viewer discretion is advised. This isn't for the weak heart or something. I don't know. But this is based off of a true story, based off of my experiences. I believe it. So let's see if this will play.
In this world, there is real evil. In the darkest shadows and in the most ordinary places. These are the true stories of the innocent and the unimaginable. Cindy Sarah and her family moved back to her hometown, hoping for a better life. But something sinister lurks in the shadows, waiting to make its move. Desperate to protect her children from something she cannot see, she becomes caught in a supernatural nightmare she cannot escape. Between the world we see and the things we fear, there are doors. When they are opened, nightmares become reality.
Don't go to sleep.
Yeah. And there's like, I don't know. I know at least five seasons of it, and they're all based off of true stories. And we're not talking about like a movie. We're talking about like this is like a documentary, right? And it's been out for ever since I was a
Well, there was
kid.
a TV series. I forgot the name of it. It was what you call one of them real time in real time.
Yeah.
Uh, where these guys went to houses and places searching for ghosts and
Yep.
things like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you another scary one is called Paranormal Activity.
Oh yeah. That's
And-
that's another good one.
Yeah, they made 2 or 3 of those.
Yep.
That's where they set a camera up in a room
Yeah.
or throughout the house, and you see stuff happening.
Yep.
One of them, I remember one of them where I think the husband went downstairs to make a sandwich during the night. Got the knife out, set it down, went to get like mayonnaise or something. Come back,
Yeah.
the knife's gone.
Right.
Well, he turned away. Next thing you know, that knife falls down, sticks in the countertop. If it stayed there, you might have got whacked.
Yeah.
Where'd that come from?
But this is next week. And we will.
I think there's a new one out too on HBO called the Dairy, Derry, or something like that.
Like a dairy farm or
No, it's just called it's something similar to that.
Oh, okay.
I haven't checked it out, I just, of course, this is Fright Month.
Oh yeah.
They show a lot of scary movies during the month of October.
Hinting why we're doing this this type of stuff, but in November we'll be doing Thanksgiving.
They need one.
Thing.
Charlie Brown's got one. The pumpkin patch, remember?
Yep.
He goes out and waits for the great pumpkin.
Yep. Again, that'll be next week. So, David.
And Linus comes along wearing a sheet.
So.
Oh, excuse me. They got to me.
So like, subscribe, comment, and share. And are you going to go trick or treating this year? If Jason was here, me and him would probably be doing it.
Well,
even though we're 32 years old, but that's okay.
Kind of like the forerunner of back when I was growing up. The local school would put on Halloween parties.
Yeah.
And they had the things where, the duck floating on the water, you pick it up, you win a prize.
Oh yeah.
You throw a fish hook over the board and they'll put a piece of candy on it. And we did stuff like that at school. But you still dress up and go.
Yep.
And our church has already had the fall festival.
Yeah.
And I had to wear a costume.
You were who?
I was King David.
You were King David
I was dressed in Israeli attire.
Oh.
King back then, Jesus time. We had there was 6 of us dressed up. And each had one played Noah, and one played the Samaritan woman, and one played Samson. And
oh boy.
So
which one was that, Zeke?
Oh, Zeke don't go there no more.
Oh, that's right. Anyway, we will be back next week.
Chill bumps on your head.